The radical Islamic Chhatra Sangathan, known as Islami Chhatra Shibir, the student wing of Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami, has won two major university polls with victory at the Jahangirnagar University. Islami Chhatra Shibir now has the two most important university campuses under its control. On September 10th, Shibir also swept Dhaka University Central Students' Union election. Islami Chhatra Shibir was banned by the Sheikh Hasina-led government in August 2024. The interim government led by Mohammad Yunus lifted the ban. Known for its violent legacy, the organization had hijacked the student protest movement that led to the ouster of the Hasina-led government. Its victory in Dhaka University, a bastion of secular politics, shows how the party has gained traction among the younger generation that did not directly witness its controversial role in 1971 Liberation War. Let's take a look at the history of Jamaat. At a recent event, Rajya Sabha MP and former envoy to Bangladesh, Harshpreet Shringla, reminded the audience of Jamaat-e-Islami's controversial role in 1971. It was accused of atrocities, including genocide against Hindus in collaboration with the Pak army. Jamaat has blood on their hands and they are part of the Muslim Brotherhood that exists in Egypt, Turkey and different parts of the world, added Shringla. Earlier, Congress MP Shashi Tharoor called Islami Chhatra Shibir's victory a worrying portent for Bangladesh's political trajectory and for India's relations with its neighbour. A Jamaat majority government or a strong Jamaat presence in a new coalition would present a complex and potentially hostile scenario for India, added Shashi Tharoor. So the basic issue is, what does the rise of Jamaat mean for Bangladesh politics? Where does the rise of Jamaat leave Khaleda Zia's party? The student union polls in Bangladesh come just 5 months ahead of the Feb 2026 election in Bangladesh. There is growing pressure from Islamists to exclude political parties like Sheikh Hasina's Awami League. The 8-party grouping wants to ban 14 political parties associated with Hasina from contesting the next election. In the university elections, Islami Chhatra Shibir candidates won 23 of the 28 posts. The results are a setback for student wing of former PM Khaleda Zia's BNP, which termed the election a planned manipulation. BNP. So why are larger parties alarmed at the rise of Jamaat in Bangladesh like BNP? Is the rise of Jamaat pushing Bangladesh older parties to margin? Is JIA filling a political vacuum in Bangladesh? On this, I am joined by Salim Samad, a very senior journalist and a columnist from Bangladesh who joins me live from Dhaka, and Ambassador Veena Sikri, India's former envoy to Dhaka. Thank you both of you. I'll straight away go to Mr. Samad first. Mr. Samad, why has Shibir swept 2 university polls? What does it mean for the older political parties?
Thank you for having me on the show. First of all, I must admit, I'm not a nationalist and I'm not a patriot, like many of you sitting on the panel. I am an independent journalist and I want to say that there are 45 state-owned universities. And Dhaka University, of course, is the oldest, and Jahangirnagar University is the 4th oldest university in Bangladesh. I'm talking about, well, we are not sure about what about other 45 universities election. We are not sure about Chittagong University election. But let me tell you one thing that has to be understood. The political analysts are trying to figure out how come the Jamaat-e-Islami means led Chhatra Shibir has come to the limelight, especially getting elected in the university, because in the last 55 years, they have not been able to make any dent in any university or any college. First of all, you have to understand that the young generation, Gen Z, have seen the BNP regime, the Khaleda Zia's regime. They have seen the Sheikh Hasina's regime, and they have seen how they have been extortion, how they have been, raising funds from the common people, from the students, even giving allotment of the hall, which is very important. Hall in the university is dormitory. So they have to pay to BNP, Chhatra Dal, to get a seat in the, previously it was Chhatra League, I mean, Awami Leagues. They have to pay for them, and you have to pay a regular rent to be safe in the university. That is a common need. That has never been addressed by any government or any authority in the university. There have been a lot of change in the university authorities, but let me come to you that they have not seen, have no, since 5th August, the BNP, the Chhatra Dal, has been rampant in collecting tolls from the vendors, from business communities, you name it. So they have seen, the younger generation have seen how Chhatra Dal or the BNP have been extorting them. Shibir was silent. Maybe this is one of the, maybe they're very smart. They were silent, they did not interfere, they did not stop this extortion, the protection money, they haven't stopped. They even didn't intervene, they have not raised any. But possibly the students thought, that why don't you try Chhatra Shibir, who seems to be more adverse. But let me
Okay.
tell you one thing, majority of the voters that you have seen on the television, or we have seen on the pictures, they were not wearing hijab. So you cannot blame anybody that all they are supporters of Shibir. Many
Okay.
of them have been supporter of maybe Chhatra League, for example,
Okay.
because they are
Okay.
silent majority in the university.
Okay. Ambassador Sikri, two questions to you, madam. BNP says it's planned manipulation. So what does it mean for the older political parties in Bangladesh? And how should we read the resurgence of or sort of the comeback which Jamaat has made with its student wing in the university politics in Bangladesh?
Well, quite frankly, I see this as a complete continuation of the pattern that began in August last year. For the last 1 year, from the day that Muhammad Yunus took over on the 8th of August last year, it has been very clear that the force behind him has been Jamaat-e-Islami. The Jamaat-e-Islami has been running the show for the last 1 year and more, and their pattern, and they were supported by all those individuals and countries who lost the 1971 Liberation War. And since last year, for the last 12 months and more, the Jamaat-e-Islami, with Muhammad Yunus in front as the chief advisor, has done its best to overturn everything that the Liberation War has stood for. All the institutions, all the references to Awami League or Jatiya Party, or even to President Ziaur Rahman, who's head of the BNP, because they want to wipe out the memory of the Liberation War and everything that it stood for. So their plan is to wipe out that historical event and pretend as though it never happened. As part of this pattern, we are now seeing that their effort to take over the universities. Now, let's be very clear on this and what happened in the universities, Dhaka University and Jahangirnagar University. First of all, it was not a free, fair, or inclusive election. The Awami League was not allowed to participate. And I think many other political parties, although there's no formal ban on the activities of any political party except the Awami League, but still many other political parties could hardly have a role in that, including the Jatiya Party and others. So there was a complete situation where the Awami League was not present at all. So that's 40% of the vote bank completely gone. Of course, they do say, when many people are saying, and I will point out to this fact immediately, that even during the tenure of Sheikh Hasina, there were some Islami Chhatra Shibir members and some Jamaat-e-Islami members who had infiltrated into the Awami League. And they have now gone back to the Jamaat-e-Islami and the Islami Chhatra Shibir. Many of them were seen in these polls, of course, fighting on the platform of the Islami Chhatra Shibir. So there has been this kind of realignment also, which has actually fooled a few of the voters, because they even tried to take away the name of the Islami Chhatra Shibir and use other names like the Students' Alliance and so on to show that it is not the Islami Chhatra Shibir.